All right, everybody, welcome back to the Footprints of Faith and Chaos podcast. I am here today with my husband, Jonathan.
What's going on, guys?
And so I'm just going to be straight right from the get go. This is recording number 2. Last night we were like 40 minutes in, and it
just wasn't not going the way we wanted it to.
No, not at all.
And like, hey, I'll take the blame on that.
So here we are, take 2. We're in a better mindset. We're in a better spot, and so like I was saying, I have been doing a family series. I hope one day to do a relationship series, and Jonathan would come on for those episodes. But we're just going to take a pause for this week and just kind of talk about what we have been going through with Jonathan's injury, and how that is playing a part in our life, and kind of give you guys an update of what's going on. So about a week ago, I got a call from PJ. Jonathan and PJ had gone and played basketball, and PJ called me and he said, "Rachel, John's going by ambulance." And I was like, what in the world? And I've already shared this whole story, but it was actually a week ago today. So we were in the ER that night. So we got home. Wednesday was just a rest day. Thursday, you had the ortho and emergency surgery. And we're a few days post-op, and just we want to share kind of our journey, the footprints of how that's been, how that's impacted us as a family, Jonathan, our relationship, and just kind of share with you guys what we've learned through this, and maybe the challenges, pros, cons, kind of share that sort of stuff, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's start with Jonathan, and just like, how has this impacted you? Let's start there.
So just take a few steps back, like for me with my life. I had a stroke my senior year in high school, and up until that point, that was like the most, like that was like the most devastating thing, right, to happen at 18 years old. But of course, when this happened, I know it just like my knee basically catapulted, and with that, it was just in that moment, it was just so much anger that was built up.
Like devastating?
Yeah, I was devastated. I was definitely devastated because like, aside from like, gym accolades, like whatever, right? Because like at the end of the day, that is what it is. But just being there with family, right? Like being with you guys and being with I think, just like Allie, her second birthday is coming up. And that was like the thing that just came to my mind. I'm just like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to help out with that,
and we throw big birthdays, just throw that out there.
Like, we just right. And so, like, I those things just kind of came into my mind, and I would say, like, it didn't really hurt, like physically, it did not hurt in that moment. Because, like, as I've said, like, I think my shoulder dislocating during a football game, that hurt much worse than my knee dislocating and tearing the tendons.
Yeah, I was going to say, for those that don't know, Jonathan tore his tendons in his leg, and what happened is when it tore, his kneecap dislocated and, like, ended up in his, like, his lower thigh. So he's got, like, stitched, like, staples from here to here. 32 of them. 32, I counted them as I was cleaning and washing and taking care of it. So they had to go all the way up, retrieve his kneecap and put it back, and then tie off and put everything back where it's supposed to.
Rekindle all the tendons.
Gross. But How would you say, like, I know we've just been kind of like facing um just like mental and emotional side for you, like where do you like your headspace where you started, you kind of shared about that, and kind of like maybe where you're sitting now.
Oh man, I
It's
would
been a
definitely,
week.
yeah. So like exactly today on Tuesday, like we're recording this on Tuesday.
Mm.
Um, it's been a week now since that whole catastrophe happened, but I would say from last Thursday, after the OP and versus now, I would say like it's been like a lot of growth. I would say. I know the first couple of days, man, like I didn't even want to move really because I was just terrified because I know in my mind I'm not supposed to bend my knee, right? And of course, me having a demobilizer on like that's I don't know. I think I was more in my head in all of this, and I think you would even agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And just having the unknown
Mm-hmm.
about all of this, like it's scary because like I don't know what this is supposed to look like. I've never been through this, and I mean, what didn't you have to have a demobilizer on your leg before for injury?
Yeah, and when I was in middle school, I
Right.
had it on for like 12 to 16 weeks. So I do have like, yes, it's been years, but I do have an idea of what like like immobilizers and what it feels like and like that sort of thing.
And I think like and even last night, you know,
Mm.
like because Rachel, after all of this, all the shenanigans happened with our first recording last night, it was she was saying something, about me like walking because literally the way I was walking, guys, I don't even call it walking. Like it was basically my left foot. I would just use my toes to basically crawl along, and
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 drag.
then, yeah, I'll just drag it, and then I'll take my right foot, take a step, then crawl with my left toes. So, um, yeah, it was right, and I just remember she was like, "Have you even like attempted to even try and walk?" And of course, I'm just like, "Nah, man," like because I'm just terrified. I had no idea what it's supposed to feel like. My quads and my knee, and she's just like, "John, with your demobilizer on, you can't bend your knee. Like you're not gonna be able to bend it. So like, you have to like pick up your feet because if you try
You
walking
have to
there,
try.
yeah,
And if
like,
you can't do it, then that's fine. Then that's one thing. And I would have totally been on board. And I was like,
hmm
okay, how can we um, build and encourage you to do that? Like if you like couldn't, okay, that's fine. But I just wanted you to try.
yeah.
And you were telling me the whole time, oh, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. So then I'm sitting there like,
So why don't you?
so
Right,
why aren't you trying?
right,
And it was all like in your head.
right.
And then tell them about today.
And then fast forward to today, like I actually went down the steps by myself for the first time this morning, um, and I was able to, like just walk around here. Basically, I was able to put some weight on my leg, and I was getting around pretty stinking fast and stuff. So I think just it just shows you how powerful the mind is, and
Super
how
powerful.
how in like just being inside your head, being inside your
Mhm.
thoughts, um, how they if you let them consume you, then yeah, they're going to absolutely just
Eat you
yeah,
alive.
feed on your soul, and
Hmm.
that's what was happening, and I think me just not being afraid is like dude, you, I mean like yeah, you got surgery, and if you do mess something up, then yeah, like you're gonna have to go back and do it again. But it's like, do you want to progress? And and like if you're progressing faster than what you're expecting, then yeah, yeah. But if you're progressing faster than you expect, or than they expect, then that could be a good thing.
Mhm.
So I think it was definitely tough love last night, but it was all out of good intentions. I would think. I would like I
Or
know in that
frustration.
moment, yeah, in that moment it was not.
Ultimately, I feel like towards you, I typically always have good intent and I want the best for you always. My delivery sometimes sucks. And I mean, this podcast, we are completely authentic. We have nothing to hide. Um, I mean, I've told Jonathan from day one, your girl is not a caretaker. I'm just not. God did not design me that way. Um, I love my husband and I would do anything to support him in his dreams and his goals. And I'm the first one to stand there and like provide all the organization on how do we get there. Um, and I'm really good with like our finances and like that sort of stuff. And um, I would like to think that I'm a good mom and a good wife. And I mean, I help work by working full time. Um, but God did not build me as a caretaker. And that's okay. That's all right. Because you know what? By God's grace, um, I feel like I have been able to help um, you. And I mean, there are, in the beginning, there were days that I was literally helping you and taking on the weight of your body and helping you get up the stairs and holding you up. And I have literally cleaned and washed and helped you dress. Like, yeah, I'm not very good. I'm not perfect, but I definitely have tried the best that I can.
Yeah, I think it's like a learning experience for both of us, and really even with the girls right now, as you, I don't know if you guys can hear
Allie,
Allie crying right now, but
I mean, she's kind
she's
of
not crying.
whining.
Yeah, she's just kind of like mommy. But no, I think because even the girls, I think especially on Allie's face, you can kind of tell like, all right, something's off.
Different,
Yeah,
yeah.
because like dad's not able to like, I usually get on the floor with the girls and like, play with them, wrestle with them, and like I can't do that obviously.
Daddy, ouch.
Yeah,
Daddy,
yeah.
ouch.
She as soon as I walked through the door last Tuesday, I remember she saw my leg and she was like, "Daddy, ouch, ouch."
It was very sweet.
So she recognizes those things, man.
She's very empathetic.
Hmm.
But how would you say, or how do you feel like it has impacted our relationship and our marriage, this challenge that we are currently facing and will be facing for the next few months?
I would definitely say like, if anything, like already like just helping communicating.
Mhm.
Like just like for whatever relationship you like, whoever might be pursuing out there, like the communication aspect is going to be the number one piece to making it work. And it's it's difficult some days, like last night, just trying to communicate. And sometimes like communicating out of anger, frustration, it's like, all right, you know in that moment it's kind of like, why even talk?
Mhm.
But I think that's going to be the thing. Once all of this is said and done, we can look back on it and be like, nah, dude, we definitely came a long ways with that. And I'm honestly really excited to see how that's going to look going forward for us.
Yeah, I can agree to that. I also feel like I've learned so much about myself where areas I didn't know I struggled with as hard. I'm recognizing them. Um, and I feel like it's just, yeah, I'm learning. And I think we said this last night too, is like we were always, 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 always on the go. And I feel like we didn't spend enough time just one on one with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like this has forced us to slow way down.
Oh yeah.
And just be with each other. Because our circumstances have literally forced us to stay home, have forced us not to go anywhere. And it's just like amazing. And I was like, dang, like I do like you. I did marry you because I like you and like being with you and spending time with you and like
I mean, it's almost kind of like I think being like the home aspect of it is like this, but it's almost kind of like being back in COVID, right? You know, when like you were indoors with each other, and I'm pretty sure like you look at the statistics when COVID was around, like as far as like the unknown of it, there was a lot of divorce rates. Like the divorce rates actually, I think, skyrocketed during that time because like
people didn't actually like each other.
They actually didn't like their spouse because they and it sucks that it took that to have to make them realize like, hey, we're not good for each other, and then of course there's a whole nother side of it of just like trying, right, like make it work because marriage is work. But I think the whole thing of us though, like just having this time together, just slowing down and just being in the moment each day now is kind of like, all right, like you kind of can savor, I think, the moments that we have with each other. And I'll tell you what, like, because I was home by myself yesterday. I was
working.
Yeah, and she had to work. Like it's her day, and like don't get it twisted out there. But I believe that I had a whole lot of time to sit here and just kind of just think, about a whole lot of just like with life and things that I would like to do, with the fam after all of this is taken care of. But of course, in my mind, I have to tell myself like, hey, if you want to do all that with them, you have to take care of what you need to do first. And of course, I think I would say I took a step today, with legit taking steps, and walking and putting weight down on that leg. So, like they're all great things. I think, like it's the action, the whole thing of it, like me tearing my ligaments, it sucked. But I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise for us.
In a couple of different ways, I think.
Yeah.
I also feel like in this kind of just like impacting our family and whatnot. But I feel like because we've slowed down, our conversations are not necessarily as surface level. I feel like we've had some really in-depth conversations, some real life conversations that maybe wouldn't have happened if we were just like going.
Yep.
And I feel like just leaning on each other and like trying to check in on each other where we're at, mentally and emotionally, is a big piece, but being like intentional about that. And our girls are good. Our girls roll with the punches, and like I feel like impacting our family. I feel like this is a good spot to say thank you to all of those people who have helped us, who have gone out of their way to support us through this challenging time. Those folks that have made us meals, thank you. We pounded through some leftovers today. Folks that have picked up or let me drop off Allie or Maya and have just like spent some quality time with the girls and just gave me a break, because it's a lot. Like, I am still working full time. John's still working full time with this injury. We got bills to pay, people. It's not like we can just sit around and stop life.
Right.
And who knows what these medical bills are going to look like. So people that have picked up or taken our kids for some time, thank you so much for your willingness to do that. Thank you to all of those people who have been praying for Jonathan and myself, and just lifting us up and encouraging us and checking in on us. It means a lot, and we would not be anywhere, like, it would be much harder without our village behind us. So I just want to make note and just to say thank you to all of those. I mean, each one of you has touched our life in a different way, and we're really thankful for all that you've done for us.
Doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah. So we just want to be grateful and sit here with full and grateful hearts. I do want to mention Rick and Ellen from Epsom Bible, and I just want to say thank you to them, because they have seriously gone out of their way and made us feel welcome.
Absolutely.
And just, I mean, what Rick has texted you a couple of times and checked in on you and prayed over you. And
he's a busy man.
Yeah.
He's a busy man.
Yeah, and to be so personable and to really like care. Care about us has been really, really cool. It's been really awesome. So Rick and Ellen, you've blown our expectations away, and it was really hard to come back to EBC, but you made it easy.
Yeah, no. And it was funny, like, a little quick story. When all of this happened, I was getting on the stretcher. Ellen, she was right there. And of course, she looked at me. She was like, Jonathan, what happened?
She's so cute.
And I'm sitting there sweaty because, I was playing. That was like my fourth game that I was playing. And like she hugged me and stuff. And I'm just sitting there like, this woman knows I'm gross. She knows I'm gross, but her heart is so huge that she didn't care. She did not care. Like, she wanted to know, like, hey, you're cared for and you're loved for, and like, just things like that. It means so much, because like it's just kind of like what Rachel was just saying. Like, her and Rick have just opened their arms, and it's just like, like, hey, we're here. We're here. And that
means a lot.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
It means a lot. So that's really, really cool. I mean, what else? Like, so this, obviously, this podcast, this show, whatever you want to call it, is called The Footprints of Faith and Chaos. And I feel like we are living, like, relying on God in the midst of this, like, challenge and chaos. Like, what do you have to say to the people and kind of like wrap this together? Just about everything we're going through.
I would say this for like all the dads out there. But like if you're a parent, and like and especially a dad, man, put the kids in the bed, because they've been crazy. They've been on one, right? and like just changing their diaper, like just going through it nonchalantly, not being in the moment because you're just trying to rush it and get everything taken care of. Savor those moments, because one, they're going to be gone just like that. But two, don't let it take for something like this have it taken away from you to
Mm.
make you realize that, hey, you need like this is something that you genuinely enjoyed and that you miss it, right? Because you had it taken away from you, but in order for you to realize, hey, you had it there, man, and like you kind of took it for granted. So savor those moments with your kids, the bath times, right? Like, just savor those moments and just be present with those kiddos, all right?
Yeah, I think that's good. And I feel like I just like him sitting here, and I'm like, it has been a whirlwind. It has felt chaotic. It has felt like we're out of control. There's no hold of control in this situation. We've had ups and downs. We've had arguments. We've had tears and compassion. And just being like honest, like this has not been easy. It just hasn't. This has been hard in so many different ways, but I do agree with you, and I feel like at the end we're gonna look back at our footprints and be like, wow, God got us through this, and you know what, we did it together, and you relied on me, I relied on you. We're a good team. I mean, I say all the time that we're a power couple, we're a power team. And do we do things right every single time? No. And if we told you we did, we'd be lying.
Absolutely lies, yeah.
So, we're just trying to figure it out. Jonathan's doing the best that he can with what he's got. I'm doing the best that I can with what I got. And we're hoping that two halves make a whole, So this episode is hilarious. Jonathan's like, why don't you try to keep it just almost to that 30-minute mark? It's hilarious. And I feel like we covered a lot of things.
I would say there was a lot of gems in this book, and it's like, yeah, it's under 30 minutes, but I think it's showing
it's real life.
So yeah, real life to the point. And I think, yeah, I think there's a lot that not even just parents, but anyone can take away from this. So yeah, I appreciate you for having me on here.
And I appreciate you coming on. This go around was a hell of a lot better than last time.
Yeah.
So if you are enjoying following our journey and just listening to what we have to say, listening to our gems, our wisdom, yeah, we're young, but we've gone through some crazy things, some chaos.
Experience is the best teacher.
Yeah. So we just hope to share our experience, our chaos, our faith, all in one, and we hope that we will help you. Feel free to reach out to us at any time if you need support, encouragement, prayer. A great way for you to support us is by subscribing. It's free. Just means you get notifications when new content comes out. My goal is to get once a week, but this is real life. So thank you so much for listening to where we're at in this current journey of injury, and we will keep you posted, and I should be resuming back to our family series next week. Thanks, guys.
Peace.